Hi, Dad. I'm great. How are you? Actually, I had a really good weekend. It was fun and productive. Well, on Saturday morning, I vacuumed my floor, I washed my clothes, and I did some cooking. I made a gigantic pizza. Yeah, it was really good. Then in the afternoon, I went to a friend's house and we saw a really interesting movie. After that, we went to the park that's next to his house and we talked about the movie that we saw. Uh-huh. Okay, bye, Dad. Well, we're not just going to talk about my weekend in this video. We're going to practice some grammar today. Maybe you noticed during my story that I said some different action verbs. For example, washed, did, went, talked. You might remember that these type of verbs are the past simple. So in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about when we use the past simple and how we form it. Let's go. In my story, I talked about some activities that I did last Saturday. These activities started and finished at a specific time in the past, which was Saturday. So, when we talk about an action that happened at a specific point in the past, we use a type of verb called past simple. You probably remember this from last year. Now, making a regular verb in the past simple is very easy. It's the principal verb plus ed. For example, vacuumed, washed, talked. All of these are regular verbs in the past simple. There are also some verbs that don't end in ed, and these verbs are irregular. I'm going to tell you some of the most common irregular verbs. They are common because we use them a lot when we speak in English. For example, go, went, see, saw. Am or is, was. Are, were. Do, did. Make, made. Try to remember some of these verbs. They will help you in the next activity. Now I'm going to tell you that same story about my weekend again. But this time, it's going to be a little bit different. So, let's play a game. See how many differences you can find between the first story and the second one. Hi, Dad. Actually, I had a pretty terrible weekend. Yeah. On Saturday morning, I tried to do some chores. I was vacuuming my floor when suddenly my vacuum cleaner broke. And then, when my pizza was cooking, a fire started in the kitchen. Yeah. In the afternoon, I went to a friend's house. We were watching a movie when suddenly the lights turned off. After that, we were walking in the park when suddenly it started to rain. Yeah, I know. all these strange things happened. Yeah, well, I was really annoyed, so I just went home. Bye, Dad. Did you hear any differences the second time I told the story? There were four big differences between the first one and the second. Every time I tried to be productive or have fun, something stopped me and I didn't have a good day. In the first sentence, it says, I was vacuuming the floor when the vacuum cleaner broke. Imagine, for a while in the past, I was vacuuming my floor. Suddenly, I had to stop because my vacuum cleaner broke. The second example is similar. We were walking in the park when it started to rain. Imagine, for a while in the past, we were walking in the park. Suddenly, we had to stop because it started to rain. Remember, in the past continuous, we must always use the verb was or were plus the verb in its ing form. Now I'm going to talk about some of the chores that I did today. You guys know that talking about chores is one of my favorite things, and doing chores is one of my other favorite things. But they're important, so I'm going to take a look at my list and tick the ones I completed and cross the ones that I didn't complete. Yes, I have just vacuumed the living room. That's a big tick. The living room floor looks great. I have just done the cooking. Big tick. I have lots of delicious food waiting for me in my fridge. I better not eat it all today. Oh no. I haven't done the laundry yet. Big cross. I need to do my laundry today 'cause my clothes are getting a little bit dirty. And I haven't done the dishes yet. Big cross. Yeah, I have a big mountain of dirty dishes waiting for me, so I have to do those dishes today. Now let's take a look at some of the examples of chores that I talked about in my story. In the first example, I said, I have just vacuumed the living room. Now, this sentence is talking about an action that was recently finished in the past. I don't know if it was a few minutes ago or an hour ago. When it happened is not important. Now, in the second example, I said that I haven't done the laundry yet. Now, it's a chore that I planned in the past, and I have not completed it, so in the present, I still have to do it. Now, in these two examples, we are talking about a verb form called the present perfect. We use the present perfect to talk about an action in the past that has recently finished. That's the first example. Or an action that started in the past but has an important impact on the present, like the second action. Now, to create the present perfect, we must use the verb have or has and add the past participle. Let's look at this sentence a little more carefully. Here it says, have vacuumed. So we have the verb to have plus the past participle form of the verb vacuum. You might notice that this verb ends in ed, so it is a regular verb. And normally, if the verb is regular in the past simple, it is also regular in the past participle form. For example, you can say, I washed my clothes yesterday, or I have just washed my clothes today. Washed is a regular verb, so it's the same in the past simple form and in the past participle form. The second sentence is a little bit different. First, we have haven't. Haven't is the negative form of the verb have. And done. Done is the past participle form of the verb do. And it doesn't end in ed, so it's irregular. Just one more thing. It's easy to tell that a sentence is present perfect when we use the words just or yet. If we use the word just, that means that it's an affirmative present perfect sentence. And if we use the word yet, that means it's a negative present perfect sentence. Well, this is the end of the video. Now you're going to do some activities to practice the past simple, past continuous, and present perfect. Good luck.